bless you. This is Pamela Mantey with Glow Women's Network. It is another day, another privilege, and it is an honor to be given this opportunity to speak into your lives again. I am here talking about issues of, dealing with the pastor's wives. All right, these are subjects that are very close to my heart because I am a pastor's wife and I have been through, we go through so many similar situations, and I believe that we don't go through it for our sake, but for the sake of other pastors' wives as well who need to hear the word, who need to know, how you have been through it and how you were able to overcome and all that. And I'm here to share a quick word with you. I've heard pastors' wives complain bitterly of how, the congregants and people in the ministry do not honor them or respect them as they do the pastors. And I have been in that situation as well. Where you have people's attitude towards you very different from the attitude they have toward your husband, who is the pastor. And it can be very disturbing. And I've been at a place when I was upset and beyond upset, and sometimes I have, become upset even with myself because of the way that I respond to the situation. And I remember there was a time that I went to my husband and said, you know what, I cannot take this, do something about it. And, I just had it, that's it. And God, I was just, laying down one day. I remember I was talking about it, just upset. I said, God, and what he told me was that, Pam, if your husband goes before the people to command them or to tell them to honor you, when he's not around, how do you think they will behave? If he's not around, they will go back and, their attitude toward you will change again. But if you let me honor you, if you let me lift you up and elevate you, nobody will be able to bring you down. If man elevates you and, tells people to honor you, that man has to maintain that honor for you. And I said, God, you are right. So I just humbled myself and I just went through the dealing. Because if people were acting, up toward me and I was getting upset, it means there was something in me that I had to deal with. There was anger in me, there was pride in me. And I took it in that, if I'm reacting in this way, then there's something in me that I need to deal with. So that is what I focus on. And let me tell you, when God does honor you, he does honor you, and no man will be able to bring you down. Let me read from Matthew 23:12. It says that, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. I know that as a pastor's wife, you expect that respect and that honor. But let me tell you, you don't have to throw your weight around. Let God himself elevate you. Let God himself honor you before the people. When he does it, nobody will be able to underestimate the power, the glory that God has placed on your life. And if anybody comes against you, they will be coming against God. Let me tell you that if you are truly a pastor's wife, you are very close to the heart of God. God loves you so much. You have a soft place in God's heart. And when somebody touches you, they touch God, and God will deal with them severely. But you, on the other hand, do not push yourself up about where you are supposed to be. Let God do it. Let God bring you up, and when he does, no man will be able to bring you down. This is the word that I have for you. I know it can be frustrating, when people are just discriminating, but know that God is watching you and God is watching them as well. I remember a situation when there was an incident and I was really upset, but I went before God and said, God, you know what? Just deal with it. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to complain. I'll not do anything. And shortly after that, we had a ministers meeting, and surprisingly, I happened not to be in that meeting. And what I heard was that one of the ministers had brought up the subject of honoring the pastor's wife, because some people had, seen other people disrespecting and the way they were behaving, and it became the main subject of the day. And what came about was that, well, if God sees the pastor and his wife as one, why would you think that you can honor the pastor at a certain level and, honor his wife at a lower level? God sees them as one. Therefore, you should also see them as one. Whatever honor or respect you give to the pastor, you give to the pastor's wife. Now, the lesson here is that I did not have to deal with it. I did not go and complain before the ministers or whatever, but it was God. It was God's doing, because God was fighting for me whilst I was humbling myself before him. What I want to tell you is that humble yourself before God. He himself will elevate you. He himself will honor you before all men to see it. And when they do, no one will be able to deny the glory that God has placed on you. God bless you, and I will see you next time.